What's up, and welcome to Lunchtime in the Lab, number one gambling podcast for quick picks, live just on YouTube today. So appreciate all the followers, the usual suspects in the chat here today. Just noticed my boy Jay Bookie just dropped a play in the Discord that I am on in the podcast here. And so feeling good about that one. But I have yet to hear from anybody that strictly listens to the podcast on Spotify, Apple, whatever. I know many of you do watch this, either live or recorded. Appreciate those people even leaving comments saying like, "Hey, I just watch on YouTube," but helping with the algorithm. I mean, that's awesome. So like I said, I'm contemplating ending, just doing the audio side of things here. And just sticking to YouTube and not having to, record on the side and then upload afterwards. I can just click end stream and just be done with it. So we'll kind of see. But what's up, Jared? What's that? Aeon despised. It's a whole thing there. I've seen you before. Trent, garage selling, pretty good. Just fun. My wife got, she was looking for like summer clothes for like my youngest, and my oldest got a Paw Patrol toy, and I don't know, more so just fun. Drove around. We went to the quote unquote rich neighborhoods, and boy, like those houses are just like massive. But we got some salsa grill out of it. I got salsa grill out of the end of garage selling, so it worked out in my favor, that's for sure. MLB worked out too. Or the podcast yesterday, we went 2-0. I got a play left over going into going into today. Frankie, new to the cord, been loving it. Appreciate you, man. As a reminder, these plays here are not official Discord type plays. Sometimes they translate or they go over, but it's just something I did, even before the Discord, just doing some of these, feeding the public kind of thing. But anyhow, yeah, 5 winning days now on the podcast. I wish I could say I had a good day in the Discord yesterday. Unfortunately, it's just baseball betting. Before I went to bed last night, I was telling my wife, I was like, man, I'm doing really good on the podcast, but like some of these Discord plays, and it's like sometimes you overthink, or I hate to just drop these same plays in the Discord because then it's what's the use of people paying. But obviously you get other things. I do other plays too, like college baseball and stuff like that. Goofy stuff though yesterday. I ran a play for a plus 190 something. I needed the Guardians to score 3 in the first 7 and the Orioles to score 3 in the first 7. They had 2 solo home runs and just couldn't get it done. They had a guy on third like multiple times and they couldn't get it done. It was the right play. What else lost? I lost in a college baseball play. That went, I don't lose college baseball often, but I feel like some of these college baseball, these pitchers are starting to kind of fall apart. It's getting towards the end of the season. I think guys are getting kind of tired. So college baseball I'm still up probably 25 units, maybe more, something like that. But college baseball was a little more difficult. Oh, and then I did the Cardinals money line and Wilson Contreras to get a hit. Contreras walked 3 times. It was just one of those days, like I was on a player to get a hit. He walked 3 times. I was on a team to score 3 runs. I hit 2 solo bombs. I got hooked. And then college baseball lost. So I did go 0-3 in the Discord, but boy, I tell you, none of my reads are ever wrong. MLB is just a break-even season. I started out, man, I tell you, of course, I started out just on fire. I did do like an NBA little spread and money line play the other day, and that hit. Baseball is just, kind of here. I certainly enjoy watching it and betting on it, and we'll go on a run, and I've talked about it. You got to, go on a run where you go 15-3 or something like that. And then you got to stick to units and then survive the bad until you hit your next streak sort of thing. Baseball is certainly can be profitable, but it's definitely, you're just building up a little bit of money to get to those real sports, get to some football and everything like that. But speaking of football, recap from yesterday. Today is Sunday, 5-5. Before we get into today's plays, as usual, we'll take a look back and see what we did yesterday. Yesterday, we had the Padres and Diamondbacks over 8.5. Padres did it themselves. Man, Padres with Luis Arraez. Boy, I'm not gonna say they win the World Series or anything, but that's a freaking pickup, man. Dude had, what do you go, like 4 for 4 and or something, like 4 for 6, and scored a bunch of runs, some RBIs. I mean, that's the kind of player you build around. That's not the kind of player you trade. We also had the Stallions. So I guess speaking of football, we had the Stallions minus 13 and a half. Smoked them. Stallions won big time. Me and Ty we have the podcast, like I said. So if you're interested in the UFL, trying to get in on that first game starts at 1, I believe. You know, click around down here somewhere. But you got the Boys of Spring podcast. We talked about, our favorite plays. We're 2-0 on sides. We got some player props that have hit already. But check that out. We also got a 4-leg parlay that, was looking around, too. Looking good. But we went 2-0 yesterday. We'll talk about the play that's rolling over into today. One of my favorite plays. If you're in the Discord, this is actually a play that's been posted by Ty and myself already. It's how much I do love it. So we're going to have 4 plays rolling today. One, like I said, from yesterday. But before we get into it, though, please do me a favor. Like the video. Subscribe. Subscribe on everything like that for me, please. Share it. Stuff like that. What's up, Tyler? What's up, Chuck? What's up, Marcus? Appreciate the guys that always tune in. Means a lot, seeing some of these normal faces, joining and everything, So, let's talk about this one football play real quick. We'll talk then and we'll get into baseball. If you're here yesterday, we talked about it already. West Hills over 47.5 rush yards. I believe that's probably where it's sitting at. You can only find player props on ESPN Bet. But this UFL, season's gone pretty well. It's been a good league. Before we know it, we're gonna have Canadian football here too, guys. The rules are weird in Canadian football. I'll tell you what, there's only 3 downs instead of 4. So I think that kind of sucks because you only really get 2 plays and then they're punting. So there's a lot of like back and forth type stuff. But Canadian football, I mean, like is profitable. Me and Ty were pretty good at it, and we may transition into doing some Canadian football like podcast work or something like that. Man, he's trying to talk me into heading out to where he lives the first week of college football. I mean, him doing a bunch of content, and he's got a whole streaming set up, and dude's got like 8 TVs for college football, and it's a crazy thing. And we can do some like week 1 NFL content like together, like on the same screen or whatever, same couch. But it's like an 8-hour and 40-minute drive for me. He does not live. And honestly, it's only 2 states over, but it's just that like the 2 states are just like, man, it's just, you live in the Midwest, and it's just like, so trying to maybe do something like that. Anyway, this is the Panthers running back. It's only on ESPN Bet, over 47.5 rush yards. They're playing the Renegades. The Renegades last week allowed 2 rushers over this total. Like one guy had 80, one had like 90 something. Hills is the second leading rusher in the league. In fact, he's actually the number 1 running back. There's actually a quarterback that leads the league in rushing yards. He averages 45 yards per game, but the starting quarterback is out, which means that, in my opinion, I think they're going to rely more so on the run. This dude's a solid running back. When the starting quarterback's out, you're going to see a lot of handoffs, first play handoff, second play handoff, a lot of, running on first down and second down and try to get the third down, maybe through the air kind of thing. But I think it's going to be run heavy. The Renegades sucked. The Renegades are bad. I think we have the right script. If a team is going to blow another team out or a team is going to be winning, it's going to be the Panthers, which is then going to have them, run it out. I tell you what, guys, I love to bet on football. I love to be able to first handicap what I think the game script's going to be, and then go along with what I think like the right player prop is or something like that. I absolutely cannot wait for college football. I mean, luckily I'm able to bet props in college football, but I'm a big over under what's going to happen kind of thing. But NFL is certainly a passion of mine as well. So certainly can't wait for it. Wait to go full NFL. I mean, hey, I like to bet on baseball, but as soon as college football hits, as soon as the NFL hits, baseball is dead to me. Anyway, that was the overflow play from yesterday. To get into baseball again here today, real quick, let me just say that like Sundays have been weird. So like I'm a bit, hesitant with it because it's, the whole Sunday baseball thing, but there's a lot of games that I'm really just not interested in. Just to kind of go down the list here, we have the Rockies and the Pirates. Not interested. Tigers, Yankees. I hate the Yankees. Blue Jays and Nationals. Alex Manoah is pitching for the first time, I think, this year. Dude, it struggled. If they were playing a better team, I would think, the Nats team total might not be bad. Manoah, in his first start, but it's the Nationals. Man, I can't trust them. Angels and Guardians, I have a play on. Mets and Rays. Severino, man, has been pitching really good. I feel like that's an under type game. Maybe look at Severino's like outs or something like that. You got the Astros pitching Hunter Brown. Man, I love to fade Hunter Brown. But if you look at the Mariners do not score runs. So how do you fade a pitcher when the opposition is just not good? Hunter Brown's got like an 8 ERA or something stupid like that. Dude's been getting smoked, but I mean, I can't trust the Mariners. Rangers, Royals, I got nothing to do with it. Red Sox, Twins, White Sox, Cardinals, nothing. Cubs, Brewers, I got to play on it. Marlins, Athletics, I can't believe the Athletics. Rooker hit 2 home runs in the third inning or something crazy like that. We got the Padres and the Diamondbacks. This Waldron dude pitching for the Padres. Like, I've got this internal struggle going right now. Like, I see the Padres who have scored 5+ runs in like 5 straight games, and the Padres who have just been smashing the ball, the Padres who picked up Luis Ariz, all this stuff. Diamondbacks, haven't been hitting well, but the Diamondbacks, I have a lot of faith in the Diamondbacks. But you have Waldron, who away is a great pitcher. He's got a 1 point something ERA away, but at home, I actually tweeted about it. Let me see if I can find that real fast from this morning. That was last night. Where's it at? I only tweeted once. The dude at home has a 7.98 ERA, but away he's got a 1.10 ERA. So it's like, I really want to go with the over for the Padres and the Diamondbacks because Nelson's a little rough. Padres hitting the hell out of the ball. Diamondbacks, certainly due to have a good game. But what if Waldron is just a beast away? So it's like you almost got to wait and see. Orioles and Reds, big home run game right there. I think I have 2 guys out of there. We definitely pick a guy to hit a home run out of that game. Wind's blowing out. It's already a short field. It's already a good stadium for home runs and runs to begin with. And we have, wind blowing out today. So I think Cincinnati is going to be a big time game. What are you doing, dude? I'm on the movie. Not right now. Okay. In a little bit. That thing's way too big for you anyway. Go watch TV. Anyway, let's go ahead and hop into it here, guys. First off, like I said, thanks for joining. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing, stuff like that. I know on Saturday and Sundays, I don't normally have as many viewers, so we'll try to burn through this real quick. My sons want me to put his Bumblebee costume. That's something we got from the garage sales, is a Bumblebee costume. Sorry, my wife's away from home. She keeps texting me because she doesn't know what 11:30 is. Every day at 11:30 live, lunchtime in the lab. First play, Guardians, Angels over 8. Let me see. I wrote these up a while ago. Is it still at 8? It's at 8. Guardians, Angels over 8. Bit of a zigzag so far in this series. Guardians couldn't score in the first game at all. Angels won 6-0. We needed the Guardians money line in the Discord, and they didn't show up. Then they show out obviously the day after. Yesterday, Angels only scored 1 run. In the second game, they lost 1-7. Guardians put up 7. So they've been back and forth, like who's going to score, who's going to have good offense today. Hoping that it's going to be both. I feel like 8 is a pretty average number. 8's a good number. It's a nice little push. I think there's going to be runs. Griffin Canning going for the Angels, 7.45 ERA. Dude's been just getting killed. At home, away, it doesn't matter. He's given up 4, 3, 2, 7, 4, and 5 runs so far this year. I mean, the guy's just getting smoked. I mean, you look at him, his best start, he's given up 2 runs in his best start. 2 runs is certainly not bad. I mean, if you look at any, a good pitcher and he gives up 2 runs and it's like, whatever, and, it goes 7, 8 innings, it's whatever. This guy, is just getting murdered. His away ERA is actually over 8. So, I mean, he's not good at all away. On the reverse side, you have Carlos Carrasco going for the 6.59 ERA. He's given up 13 runs in his last 2 starts. So, I mean, is he due to kind of come out of this slump? 13 runs in 2 starts. I think it's certainly worth continuing to go after him until he proves that he's kind of figured it out. The Guardians definitely have the better advantage here in the pitching matchup, but I think Carrasco is going to get hit. And as long as we're able to get a couple runs out of the Angels, I think we're going to be okay. If you actually, like, if you really look at the Angels lineup, they're not that bad. I mean, like Ward, that what the hell, Adele or whatever the hell his name is. I mean, they actually have him batting like 7th, so they kind of have the lineup spread out pretty good. Obviously, Trout's missing, but I just think there's a lot of good potential, for us to have some good runs. The Angels allow the 5th highest bullpen ERA, so once we do get Griffin Canning out of there, we do have a bad bullpen. 5th highest bullpen ERA, and they're giving up the 18th most home runs. As a bullpen unit, which I think is the 3rd highest, which is obviously good for us because the Guardians hit 3 home runs yesterday. So they did a lot of their damage by hitting home runs. I mean, I think we have a pretty similar environment in terms of like weather and everything like that. The Guardians do have a good bullpen, guys. Like, I'm not going to lie. So, I mean, we're going to want to get after Carrasco here. Hopefully, the Angels can get on the board early in the first 5 or so. Almost thought about doing first 5 here just because I know the Guardians do have a decent bullpen. But I mean, with 8, I feel like it's a low enough number. I mean, you give us the full game to get to 8, a 6-2, 4-4 type thing. I mean, then I think we're looking good. That's what's kind of nice about having an even number. We have a 4-4, tie at some point. I mean, we're guaranteed to win. We're guaranteed to obviously, a push at that point. So obviously if you can find a 7.5, I mean, that's a better look, but I'm cool with taking 8 for the first play. Well, technically second play. Guardians and Angels over 8. The second play, man, I tell you what, this is like a bet it and forget it kind of thing, probably. Brewers and Cubs under 6.5. Low number, and like certainly not afraid of it. I mean, the books are right. I don't think there's going to be a lot of runs here. In the first game of the series, we had wind blowing in. We had a 3-1 game. In the first 5 innings, there was 0 runs. In fact, the Brewers, it looked like it was going to be a 1-0 win, and the Brewers just broke it open and they scored 3. And then the Cubs couldn't continue to get anything done in the game. Like, they had barely, got much going on at all the time before. Yesterday, we had wind blowing out, and then it was like a 6-7 game. Had a bunch of runs in that game. Today, wind blowing in at 12 miles an hour. I talked about it, 2 days ago or whatever, when I don't know if we were on the under. I was on it, like I said, I was on it in the Discord. But the wind factor at Wrigley plays a massive difference. Like, some stadiums, it's not a big deal. If it's windy at Wrigley, if it's blowing out, you're going to have runs. If it's blowing in, you're not going to have runs. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter is that's just how it works out. Ballpark Pal has them projected as a negative 24% decrease in runs today and a minus 33% chance in home runs. So, they're projecting, obviously not live or die, but it's nice to look at when you have these weather environments that they're thinking there's certainly going to be a decrease in runs as well. The Cubs have Assad going, who is a 1.97 ERA. At home, he's pitching a 1.10 ERA compared to a 2.87 away. He's given up just 1 run in each of his last 3 starts, but he does only go like 5 innings. So he doesn't go overly deep in these innings. He's probably pitching above his means, but I mean, I guess you can't complain too much. He is a bit of a pitch to contact type guy. He does not strike out a lot of batters, but I mean, that's certainly okay when you have the wind blowing in. Those pop flies are gonna die. In fact, I tweeted about it the other day. William Contreras hit a ball with a .930 expected base hit average. So like 1,000 would be a hit. So like, I mean, it was 110 mile an hour, perfect exit velocity to the gap. And PCA was able to track it down. The ball just dies. The ball's dying in the wind. I think that's going to happen again. So these pop flies or these potential home runs are not going to get over the fence, in my opinion. You also have Peralta pitching for the Brewers with a 3.21 ERA, but better away with a 2.78. He was just ejected most recently. I think he comes out probably looking a little tough, in my opinion, and, striking some guys out. just kind of coming out hair on fire kind of thing, after that ejection. Cubs are also missing two big bats in Suzuki and Bellinger, and they just haven't looked good in my opinion. So I think I think the under is the way to go. Cubs missing their bats. We do have pretty good pitchers going, and then we have Mother Nature helping us out, in that fact too. So, going into the third play as usual here. Like the video, subscribe to me. Like I said, I know that it's 7 people watching today, bumped up to 8. We were just at like 20. It's going to fluctuate back and forth. Sundays, a family day. It's early. You got, church or other things going on. I get it. So we're gonna definitely probably keep this one, like I said, a little shorter. We'll get this third play here. I'll give you unless somebody's got some home run hitters you like, I'll just give the 3 that I had picked out. But I normally like to kind of hear what other people are kind of looking at, So I guess we'll see how that goes. But anyway, if you haven't done it, like the video for me. If you're new here for the first time, definitely hit that subscribe button for me too. The third play that I'm on today, I got Logan Webb as the thumbnail. So our athlete of the day kind of thing. Like the Giants money line, looking at like minus 120 or so on it, minus 118 on FanDuel right now. Taijuan Walker going for the Phillies just looked bad. Taijuan Walker looked bad against whoever he went against. He had 8 hits, 6 runs, 2 walks with an 8.53 ERA in his first start coming back from injury. At this point, it feels like maybe he's even pitching for like a job at this point. I mean, the guy did not look good. The Giants have Logan Webb pitching, who is 3-2 with a 2.98 ERA. In his last 5 starts, he has gone 4 earned runs given up, 0, 0, 1, and 2. In fact, if you get rid of that start, he had the bad start against Boston where he gave up 4 runs on 9 hits. But if you go back before that, he had gone 8, 7, 7, and 7 innings pitched, only allowing 3 runs in those 4 starts. So what is that? 29 innings pitched. He had only given up 3 runs, and then he had a bad outing against Boston. But as we know, like that's always going to happen. We're going to have pitchers. Pitchers can't be perfect all the time. That's what has me looking at this dang Orioles and Reds game is Nick Lodolo has been pitching good, but if you look at him in years past, he has not been that good. So like the guys are going to be due for regression. So you can't always, just because he pitched last time bad, doesn't mean he's going to do it again. You're looking at a trend or something like that. And then you certainly have people that are pitching outside of like their means or whatever too. I think he's going to be able to do enough to limit the Giants here. And to go up against Walker here has just been terrible. Then we have a Phillies bullpen that's pitched better recently, but they still do have a 4.88 ERA, and they are still the 6th highest in the MLB. Which I mean, they have been like 2nd worst, 3rd worst. So I mean, 6th worst is better, but still not as good. Payday almost at 1,000 subs. That's definitely the goal. Like 750 or something like that. So it's been slow going, that's for sure. I feel like the only traction I usually get is posting it and say, hey, subscribe, or hey, I'm only 6 away from hitting 750. Someone, come over and subscribe, and then people subscribe then, it seems like. So I probably need to like post a screenshot of the channel every day and be like, come subscribe and do that. Like I've said, I have nearly 23,000 people follow me on Twitter, and I have 750 subscribers on YouTube. I try to promote it on Twitter. Obviously, some of those people might not even pay attention to me anymore or anything like that. I've been on there for 2 years or something, but we're trying to increase it. So let's go ahead and recap it here. I'm going to recap it. That way I can close the audio side out. I don't have as big of a podcast upload. Dang it, guys. Okay. I guess I've just been used to it. I like joked. I hadn't had time to have like our pictures in the background or whatever. Today I actually did it, and I've been so used to not like changing the background picture or whatever that I completely forgot to do it. So I just went through this whole podcast without, changing it, so we would have had this pulled up. Obviously it's nothing, but it gives you there's a nice little like I don't know what they call it, like a break or whatever. That way you're not just staring at me the whole time. Like it changes up and it kind of is like refreshing. It's like, oh, the next one. Oh, the next one. Or someone's like fast forwarding through it, they can see the picture change and see that it's on a different, because I generally don't mess with doing like the chapters or anything like that. Anyway, my bad. My bad. All right, so I'm gonna recap for the audio podcast here. For the people that just listen, the people that are not on YouTube, the people that are not on Twitter, that will, when I do stream on there. And then I'll give my 3 favorite for a home run today. And now's the time, if anybody has a person that you really like to hit a home run, now's the time to let me know. And we can we can talk about that. So to recap here for audio people, we have the rollover play for West Hills over 47.5 rush yards. That's the Panthers running back in the UFL. That is only available on Bet365. That's the only book that's offering props right now. We have in baseball Guardians and Angels over 8, Brewers and Cubs under 6.5, and Giants money line against the Phillies as the third play, fourth play, however you want to look at it. I said at the top, if you made it this far, please do me a favor and reach out in some aspect at Live Joe Bets. Look me up on YouTube just one time and comment on the video and say, hey, I only listen on Spotify. Can you keep going? Something like that. I have yet to hear it, and I am getting to the point that, like I said, I do pay to host it, and it is extra work. It does take extra time. Sometimes I honestly forget to even upload it. But do me a favor and let me know. Like I said, if you are just listening, and if I don't hardly hear any or only one person, then it's gonna be time to just come on over to YouTube. If you can't catch the YouTube live, it's always recorded and it's always there to listen. Just like you listen on the way home, you start the YouTube video and listen to it on the way home. It's the same old thing. But I'm your host as always, Lunchtime Lab brought to you every day. Thanks so much for listening, and I will see those that listen back tomorrow at 11:30. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, it gets to the point where like when an NBA is over, when NBA is over, you got something to bet on. I've always called it you call it the dog days of summer. You're betting on the MLB. That's it. And some people are good at it and some people aren't. In fact, like I look back the couple years past, like I was still primarily betting NBA, and this year I kind of like hopped off NBA because this was like the worst season ever that I've like had to mess with it. But real quickly here, guys, Chuck, appreciate it. The 3 guys I have for a home run, like I said, now's the time to pop one in if you like it. I think we really do have to attack this Reds and Orioles game. We have the wind blowing out. It's already a stadium that is really good for home runs. The Orioles already hit 2 solo shots yesterday. Nick Lodolo, like I said, I do lean over for this game. Like I really want to play it, but I just haven't got to that point yet. I think that I've got an idea for something to play in the Discord early, and then if that play hits, I'll maybe turn around and run the over potentially in the Orioles and the Reds game at 9 because I do think there's just going to be a lot of runs. Um, like I said, also interested in the Padres and the Diamondbacks, but I'm kind of afraid of Waldron, who has been lights out away, and he just pitches terrible at home. Anyway, with the weather, wanted to go after Gunnar Henderson, but I'm kind of looking at like lefty matchups and Santander. He's hit Santander hits more home runs against lefties as righties this year. Dude is super due to hit some home runs. He's been hitting the ball hard. And then Trent. I have Ellie down for a home run as well as a second one. So I have Santander and Ellie De La Cruz as the 2 home runs out of here. I think it's just smart to do, to be honest. Um, Depending on what book you're on too, like FanDuel draft. I know DraftKings right now, I think has a 50% boost of some sort for a same game parlay. And I think you have to have X amount of legs on it, unfortunately. So um when you add the third in, it'll make it, a heck of a boost. But I like Travis d'Arnaud as well. Plus 600 though, so it's a bit juicier, but I think all but one of his home runs have come against lefties. The guy's been hitting, good. I think Paxton has been severely overperforming. If you look at his expected ERA, he's got like an expected ERA of like 6 something, and he's in like the 2s or the 3s. He's also walking a lot of guys, all that stuff, so to put some extra pressure on it. But I just think that Travis d'Arnaud hits one pretty well. Payday Ty France, like I would think maybe there because Brown, has been giving up a lot of Brown's been giving up a lot of home runs. He's been getting hit a lot. I just don't trust the Mariners. The Mariners just aren't doing anything. Gosh, Ty France for plus 1,000. I mean, if we're talking like lotto, sure. I mean, that's probably not a bad look just to run it like potentially straight if you wanted to do that. Like put like I mean, I don't know if you're messing around with units or anything like that, but point 0.1 units on a plus 1,000 wins you a unit. $10 wins you $100. I mean, that's not bad. And Travis, he those days rest are really because I mean I think some catchers only catch for certain pitchers and stuff too. So but I feel like the Braves lineup with him in it is definitely a lot better. So let me see. Let me pull up DraftKings real quick because I'm pretty sure they have a promo today. So it might be worth playing it on DraftKings today because of that like boost that they have. Let me see promos. I got the early win. I haven't messed with the early win in the longest. MLB 50% same game parlay boost. It doesn't say how many legs. Honestly, honestly, with that 50% boost, like Ellie and Santander to hit a home run might not be a bad like look. Like it might get the odds, up there. I do feel good about Darno though, but I mean it's also plus 600, so it's like, obviously has a lot less chance of hit a home run just based off the odds. But sometimes you can't, obviously you can't look at just the odds because I mean I see people hitting these home run lottos and it's just like I'll even sometimes be like, who is that? Like, why did you pick that person? I don't even know who that person is. Like, was that their third ever game? Kind of thing. Home runs. Oops, I'm on the wrong game. My only fear is that Lodolo just pitches really well, but I don't I don't know, man. I don't think he does. Santander is only a plus 240. You must have to have 3 legs. Let me see. Let me add in Travis real fast. Now we'll get out of here. See what it is boosted. Marcus, I do like it too. That was one of my favorite plays, especially from the Boys of Spring podcast. We were talking about it, and we both were pretty on it. The Discord, man, I tell you, like, I hate to say we just got to survive through baseball because I mean, I was up 80 units last year in MLB, and like I didn't think I was that good. I mean, honestly, I don't think that's like amazing, really. But I mean, there's a period where like I was like, I like took myself out of the game, kind of. I was like, hey, like I need a break, like mentally, like I'm not seeing the board right. I've been doing this nonstop every day for a year. And I took like a 2 week break or something like that, and I came back winning. But like I was in such a slump that I was like, I got to stop doing this. So dude, DraftKings sucks with these promos. Like I opted in and it's just like doesn't even want to give me an option to use it. So just whatever. Forget DraftKings. We'll do it on FanDuel. Um so that play is gonna be it's a plus 13,000. I mean, it's a lotto. One of these days, we do it for the hope. And I mean, shoot, I hit one of them yesterday, maybe two, maybe went 2 for 3 out of it. People on Twitter like to see the lottos and stuff too. That's where everybody likes lottos. Man, I hate it when people send me like it's no offense or whatever, but like, yeah, like this person comments under my stuff that like wants me to send them money. Can I just have $25 for this? People DM me that all the time. If you've ever DM me that, like, hey, like that's okay. Everybody has a different life. Uh, but you wouldn't believe how many people actually do that to me. Uh Man, no, college baseball. I don't know if you're here at the beginning, Marcus. It hasn't made sense. Like we who should win has won. Marcus, I'm guessing you're Mark in the Discord, but Jamie Arnold the other day, like just got rocked. FSU lost for the first time that I've ever bet on them. So like FSU has even let me down. South Carolina yesterday just got nailed. We had, Oregon State lost yesterday. We had that walk off. Was it Arizona State? They had a walk off grand slam, but like, how did they almost lose? Like I just feel like maybe it's at the end of the year, or like we're kind of coming up to Cooperstown kind of thing. But and Sundays, like Sundays don't normally have the best pitchers. I think I quickly scrolled through, and like I'm also kind of getting frustrated that like they don't offer everything. Like I really like to bet on East Carolina, and I haven't seen an East Carolina line in the longest. But I mean, I'm kind of one of those that it's like, if you burn me, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go on a team that just lost yesterday. MLB, sure, but like even that starts in an hour, like Florida State and Clemson, they both of those, that's plus 113. I mean, both of those teams should absolutely win. If you look at Clemson, Clemson has certainly been the stronger team. I mean, Florida State, was undefeated for the longest team and they weren't ranked. So, I mean, obviously they didn't even really believe in them. Arizona State versus Washington. Arizona State against Washington. Clemson over Georgia Tech plus 100. I mean, that's there's all kinds of potential, but I don't know. It just kind of like scared me off a little bit. Let me see something. Like Clemson schedule pitcher. You got me thinking. It's Aiden Knack is pitching for Clemson, who's 4-0 with a 2.59 ERA and has actually pitched really good in his last 3 starts. The dude he's going against has only pitched 31 innings, 4-3 with a 6.39 ERA. So Clemson 100% has an advantage there. Mark. Florida. What the hell? Is it FSU? Is that what I want to search? Why is my Control F not working on this website? Okay, Florida State doesn't have a pitcher showing for Sunday. What did I say? Oregon State. Eric Segura. But then like Komat's lost, and that dude's been solid. They lost yesterday. That's their ace, or Aiden May. I don't know who their ace is. Eric Segura pitching 5-1 with a 4.35 ERA against a dude that's 5-5. You have to think that Oregon State bounces back. Like, there's no way Oregon State loses to Washington State 2 days in a row, right? Right? Damn it, Marcus. Let's run it. I'll post it. Clemson, Arizona State, plus 100. You guys got the Discord exclusive. I don't normally talk about college baseball, so if you're here, there's 10 people in here. If you want to run it with us, I'm going to do it. Only because Clemson's got Aiden pitching and the dude's solid. And Oregon State or Arizona State is a pretty solid baseball team. Did I click the wrong one? Hold on a second. Who's pitching for Arizona State? Wait. Oh, that's Arizona. Oh, yeah. Arizona State's pitcher's shit. Hold on. We don't want Arizona State. He's 1-3 with a 7.11 ERA. We don't want that. What about Arizona? Arizona over Stanford. Arizona's got a dude that's 6-1 with a 2.64. Trent, did you do Arizona State though, or Oregon State? Because I think I said Oregon State, but I accidentally clicked on Arizona State. But I definitely don't want. I don't think I want Arizona State because that dude's not. That pitcher doesn't look like he's very good. Oh yeah, Segura. I don't love it, but who's the other team? Fuck, what's the other team that I just said? Yeah, Arizona State's a little. That pitcher's a little shaky. It looks like. Oh, Arizona. I think I like Arizona better. I like just regular old Arizona, not Arizona State. I'd help if I could spell Arizona. Yeah, the pitcher going for Arizona today is 6-1 with a 2.64 ERA. At least I think so. That's what sucks is that like you don't like I'm just looking at it's called FridayStarters.com, but like that's what my fucking son's awake. Um that's just like who's listed or whatever. But then like sometimes things change. Arizona beat them 5-0 yesterday. But let me look at the box score to make sure that he didn't pitch yesterday. So Clark Candioti or something like that pitched, who is listed. So Arizona has a pretty solid pitcher. Stanford does not have a listed pitcher. That's also sucks. But I mean, like, I highly doubt Stanford's got some dude hiding that Stanford versus Arizona baseball. Like, this is what's bullshit. Like, I hate. Like, who's pitching for Stanford? Why do I have to do so much work to figure out who's pitching for a baseball team today on a team that I can bet on? Like, that's frustrating. Like, I don't see it. You know? Let's see. Not that. I want Stanford. Let's see if Stanford baseball's website says who's pitching. All right, my son's not very happy. All right, I have to hop out of here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who's pitching. That's so frustrating. But Clemson and Arizona, though, both have substantial pitching discrepancies or whatever. Yeah. All right. Clemson and Arizona, no state. Trent, that's probably still a good play, Trent. Your Arizona State, but I think Clemson, Arizona is not a bad play. So we're gonna run that in the Discord. And those 9 or 10 of you that are still here, you guys get a bonus play. That obviously isn't for the podcast or whatever. So, but I gotta get out of here. My son woke up and like when he wakes up, like it's the end of the world and he's literally losing his shit. So I don't know. He's probably hungry. So I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna get out of here. Got a bunch of plays going today. Got some trying to cook up in the Discord here too. Got to have a better day, and appreciate you guys. And I'll see you guys back tomorrow at 11:30.